All right, reshaping the nation's energy landscape is taking center stage, and stakeholders believe it offers a promise of opportunities. The Ajaokuta-Kaduna-Kano gas pipeline project stands in this category with an ambitious infrastructure of enhanced economic growth and national security. Today we'll briefly appraise the possibilities significantly hinged on developing a skilled workforce for implementation of the AKK project. And joining us now is the Executive Secretary, National Board for Technical Education, Professor Idris Bugaji. Many thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, moderator. Thank you.
Well, give us a peep into this AKK project. What is it about, and where are we with it? What does it portend?
Well, yesterday we had a round table. We brought all the key stakeholders on the AKK in order to address the issue of skill gaps. You know, the AKK gas pipeline is 614 kilometers from Ajaokuta through Niger State, through FCT, Kaduna, Kano. Supplying gas at 98 bar, 98 atmosphere, very high pressure. Millions of tons will be delivered. And there are potentials for, a kind of economic revival, because there would be industries that will emerge, downstream industries, power generation, etc. And so the challenge we are facing is, have we developed as a Tibet, board, have we developed the requisite manpower, the skills needed to deliver the downstream? The AKK pipeline itself needed about 5,000 welders, scaffolders, and integrity testers to deliver it. And so the downstream may require twice that number. So we brought the stakeholders so that we can discuss ways out, because we may require more skilled hands. But are we really preparing for that? Or are we going to allow the Chinese and other nationals to come and take over? So that's why we call the stakeholders. And I'm very happy the Minister of State for Petroleum, he sent a representation, a powerful one, the Executive Vice President of the Gas and Power in the NNPCL. And then we brought also, the key players in the gas sector, old and past and present. We also brought polytechnics. We brought the PTDF was also there. They hosted the whole program. And other stakeholders, and really we discuss the way out. And the way out is basically for us to plan properly. Otherwise, this gas pipeline is delivered 85% with a foreign loan, $2.8 billion. 85% is a foreign loan. So the earlier we start planning those downstream industries, the better. So that by the time it's completed, the interest will be the uptakers, and economic activities will start, so that Nigeria can start repaying that loan. Importantly, power will be generated 3,600 megawatts, more than half of what TCN is transmitting. Petrochemical plants for production of urea, methanol, ammonia, etc., will also come on stream. But it is now that we need to start the feasibility study, the design, the construction of those industries, so that as soon as the pipeline is delivered, and the Honorable Minister of State mentioned it will be delivered by the end of 2024. That's what the promise he made at that round table, because it's now about 62% completion. So at the end of the year, he promised it will be ready, and therefore we need to get prepared for the gas. It's going to bring a transformation of the economy, especially for the corridor, Kogi up to Kano. And that's why we invited all stakeholders, including chambers of commerce and industry. And the discussion was very fruitful.
All right, Professor, could you give us specifics now about the gap in the skill set, and then what is required, so we can meet up with the demand?
Well, you see, the gaps are many. Beside welders, scaffolders, and integrity testers who do non-destructive tests, when you finish the welding, you don't just start sending your gas. You have to use X-ray to confirm it has been done, properly. So that's what we call non-destructive tests. You also require boiler operators, turbine operators for the power plants. You require further scaffolders, even building construction, experts who can be able to do proper structures to support those items. And several other skills are needed, mechatronics, controls, etc. All those were identified.
So is it institutions that need to be improved upon now to raise...
Our polytechnics must be brought at the center of the whole thing so that they can start training young people on skills in these areas. That was what we have neglected for long. We have concentrated on diploma, higher national diploma, degrees, and so on. But the skills are not there. So we are now repositioning the polytechnics so that they can deliver on those very critical skills. Because without it, we'll end up importing those. Like Dangote Refinery, when he was building it, he brought, well, our figures were 11,000 Indians, but he has said it wasn't up to 11,000. He brought in 5,000 Indians. Even that is too bad. For them just to do pipe fitting, welding, and other related skills. We can't allow that to repeat itself. So that's why we say we better get prepared. We better bring our polytechnics so that they will now play a key role in training skilled workers in these areas of demand. You see, PTDF has been doing a very good job. For the past 20, 30 years, they have been funding with billions, hundreds of billions of naira, you know, what they call professorial chairs in universities. Nothing for the polytechnics. And for the past 30 years, all those investments in the professorial chairs has not yielded one single innovation. None of them has yielded any innovation. Only publications of journal papers all over the place. It doesn't make any sense.
So what role is the MBTE prepared to play now in filling the gaps?
We are now ready to work with
AKK.
PTDF, ready to work with the gas sector of the NNPC, ready to work with all other stakeholders and the private sector in order to develop relevant skilled manpower to meet the demands of the AKK and even other areas.
Prof, because of time, I'd like to find out your perspective about this new clamor for a bachelor's degree in scrapping HND and all of that. Is that what the polytechnics should be looking at, or how to ensure that those who come out of polytechnics actually have what it takes?
Well, that's another issue.
To fill the gap.
That's another issue. It is the issue of
Certificate.
No, discrimination against the HND. That was what brought that. You know, for almost 30 years or more, since the beginning of HND in Nigeria, the system here has not given it proper recognition. Anywhere in the public service, the HND, progress is attenuated. You can't go beyond grade level 14. You know, you can't do that because they think you are a HND holder. While in terms of hands-on skills, you are ahead of the degree holder. So for that reason, we have sat and we have agreed 2 days earlier that the best option now for HND in Nigeria is to scrap it. Let students come and do the national diploma. Then let them do a Bachelor of Technology, which is skilled-based, with skill content, different from what is offered in the university. And they will now graduate with Bachelor of Technology honors, like it's happening in Ghana. Ghana was facing the same discrimination. They have scrapped the HND. South Africa, they have scrapped the HND. They are now going from national diploma, which is the technician level, to the BTech honors, so that you can come and you'll be treated equally. Because the Nigerian system has refused to remove this dichotomy. Draft bills were presented to President Buhari and even now to President Tinubu. They have not been signed. Okay. And the draft bill for, was even sponsored by Her Excellency, the wife of Mr. President. But yet it has not been signed because there are vested interests in the systems who don't want to equate HND with BSc. Okay. So we are now saying the best option is let us discontinue with it, as many African countries have done. BTech honors skill-based.
All right.
Not NUC curriculum. No. Okay. Our own curriculum, which is skill-based. Already globally, there are new degree programs which are skill-based in many countries of the world. This is what we want to bring into Nigeria. So that ND, you go straight into HND, skill-based, and then from there you can now grow. Sky will be your limit.
Away from certificate now, Professor, final words as we wrap up. What would you want to see in the education sector? You've mentioned the polytechnics.
Yes.
What it used to be in the past is not what is happening now.
Yeah. Well, now we have introduced what we call dual certification in our polytechnics. Every ND, HND must bring a skills qualification cert before he graduates. Like your final year project, you must have skills qualification, whatever field, plumber, POP, tiling, electrician, whatever. Select a field of your interest. Get a certificate on skills, NSQ. And then with that, you can now graduate with your ND or HND. We will not allow HND holders to go out of the polytechnics without skills certification.
All right, thank you so much, Professor Idris Abugaje, for coming. And of course, we hope to see improvement in skills in the country. So that's it for our package this morning. Many thanks for watching. Today's Friday. Yeah, so that's it. See you on Monday. I'm Henry John. Enjoy your weekend.
All right, thank you for having joined us, and we'll see you again on Monday.